Yeah. As I was saying, some wine to go with that cheese.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Yes, at the same time.
I'm gonna try to be gentle because I feel like I was so harsh. I had to redo like the review I do on Goodreads. I had to rewrite it because at first I was like, I sound really mean.
Well, listen, you feel the way that you feel, and it is what it is.
No, I know, but I get, it's like in my review, I'm like, book, people pour their lives into it, and
But it's okay. Stop it. Do you hear
so
me?
hello everyone, and hello Monique.
Hello.
We are gathered here today. Sorry.
To discuss a book.
So we're here to talk about The Ultimate Gift, a novel by Jim Stovall. Basically, I came across it. So just to kind of give a backstory of how we stumbled upon deciding to choose this book for the book club, I was doing research, inspirational fiction. This book came up with this author, and he has a series about 3 different books in this series. There's like The Ultimate Gift, The Ultimate Life, and one other one. And so I was kind of inspired. It looked like it was going to be a great read. Um, so we decided to read it, and we're just going to share our thoughts on what we thought about the book. So the book basically, just to give you a synopsis, I guess, of what the book is. Red Stevens, man, has died, and he has tons of money and an inheritance to pass down. He's got tons of family, and a lot of them are greedy. But he decides to give some of them money and other assets of his, but he gives something much different to his grandnephew, right, Jason Stevens,
Mhm.
and what that's supposed to be and how it's supposed to be different from everyone else's gift is, or inheritance and all that stuff, is it's supposed to be the ultimate gift, which is just a series of life lessons that he should be able to pass on and use, better than maybe acquiring a house or acquiring some kind of money. So in this book, we're taken on this journey um, where oh gosh, Jason Stevens and the people who Red left behind, his attorney, which was his friend, and the woman who worked at the legal, at the office as well. They kind of guide Jason Stevens through the videotape that he's left behind and make sure that he's followed through on all of the wishes that Red Stevens has given. And so that is basically the synopsis of the book. Now, we'll just get right into it. So before we even started this, Monique was like, "Is there a movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so, Monique, what do you think about? You watched the movie, right?
I'm like I got like 50 minutes left of it. Yes.
From what I saw, it's got a good cast. It's got Abigail Breslin.
That's a
It's
little
got
girl, right?
yeah, that's a little girl. And
Yeah.
who was the dude who was in The Shining? What's his name? That old man in The Shining. Did you ever see The Shining? Okay.
Not
Um.
yet. I'm a little chicken.
Okay. What? Okay, but when you read Home Before Dark, were you scared?
Yes. We talked about it since I wasn't here last week.
I
Talk
know,
about
but I don't even want to jump all
it.
over it. That was a good one.
But no, we'll do this one first and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. All
So,
right. So
mm,
I'm gonna
want to talk
do.
about the book first or the movie?
Let's talk about the book. I have some of the questions but you can just go ahead and start talking about. Oh gosh, I got kicked out. No worries. So what did you think about the book?
I thought it was it fell flat for me. It was very much here. I'm telling you what it is instead of like showing you.
Yeah.
And there was not enough detail, I think. I think because he gives you the guy who passed away, the grand uncle, whatever, he
Mhm.
gives him a task, and
Mhm.
then all of a sudden you come back and he's completed the task and that's it. But you don't actually see his journey completing
Right. Right.
the task. So for me, I just wish it feels like it's missing. It's missing a lot of
Mhm.
points, and in order for you to really appreciate it, you have to kind of, you know, I want to see his struggle. And
Right.
so I didn't see him struggle in the book, so it didn't hit the way that it was supposed to,
Yep.
in my opinion.
No, I'm completely with you. Like as I was reading the book, I was just like, okay, so you've gone and you've had this lesson. Now you come back with this great wisdom, but what really happened? You don't know who he is as a person. Like you get that he's this, I don't know, defiant nephew who
Right.
really just hasn't had a whole lot of life experience, but you don't understand like the type of people he encountered. You don't understand how the encounter went. You have no clue as to like what he experienced as he was doing these things. So it's just like, and that to me made it read so, I don't know the nice word to say, almost kind of like
He was lazy.
TV or plain or just kind of, maybe plain is the word, is because it was just,
I found it very, it was lacking in a to me it was kind of lazy, like it was
yeah,
a lazy way out, like here I
yeah,
want you to do this and then come back next chapter, this is what I did to complete it, but there's like no,
there's no
it's
detail,
good, so there's no journey
no
really.
detail whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even like there, I feel like there was so much hope in the chapter where he went to the farm. Like if we really understood, because that was one of Red's best friends, if
Right.
we really understood, and if they at least like went back and maybe gave a little bit of history to that friendship and why that was so near and dear to Red, the grandfather, that would have made it a little bit better. And he, because the main character Jason, he uses that story in another chapter later.
Right.
Is this was one of the, like, can I, at the end where he's like, I need you to give me a few examples, and he becomes like the fourth who's like, this is, and he uses that example. It's like, great, but what was so life changing about your experience there? Because we have no clue.
Right. And see, I wanted more from his time at the orphanage,
Mm,
because it's, you have all of these little boys, and you want them to, teach him something, and then
right.
all of a sudden, like, he's there, he's meeting them, and
Yeah.
then he's leaving, and it's like,
Yeah.
you don't even know any of these boys'
No.
names, like you didn't get anything, you
Right.
got nothing from it. And how
Right.
are you as the reader supposed to know that he actually did his goal without you straight out telling
You
me that he did?
for all we know, he could have just went and did it and said, "I did it," because
Right. And
that's what read
I
like.
want to. I want to see it. I want to
Right.
see it happen. Don't just tell me that it happened.
Right.
So that's my that,
Right.
and it was, the whole book was like that.
Yes. Agreed. So that we didn't. There was not. I mean, so the first question is, what did you like most about the book? To be honest, I can't say I really liked anything about the book. That's
Um,
kind of harsh. I like that it was written because it was made into a movie.
I mean, I get what it was trying to do. It just don't think it executed it. So I get the concept of like
Yeah.
money doesn't buy you happiness,
Right.
or money isn't everything,
Right.
and you're supposed to use your money for, to pay it forward. And I think that's probably what I got out of it, is to pay it forward, because I think at one part, sorry,
No, you're.
I think at one part, they were talking about like donating,
Yeah.
and it brought in my head like, okay, I'm not like the richest. I'm not rich by any means, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. We're not.
Everybody go get Monique's mom. I'm just kidding.
Go fund me. um, but we're not hurting, but we're not like, we're surviving. And I was listening to, because I listened to the book, I didn't actually read it, and I'm sitting here like, I don't donate, and I should. And that's one thing that, it popped into my head, like my grandmother always donated, and I never donate. And it's like, if you, I think one of the lines was, the more you give, the more you have, something
Yeah.
to the effect. And I'm just like, huh. So out
Yeah.
of the whole book, I think that stuck out to me. Like, I'm about to go find a charity and donate.
No, and that, and that's true. There, like as you said, there are parts of the book that stick out as a story. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, not to say like you getting that lesson through the book again, because you already knew it, right? You probably deep down knew it, but it hit you again. I felt like all these things in this book were things that I
Yeah, you already know.
Right. And so that's why I'm like, but I did like you. There was a section of the book that I highlighted. It was the one about the bird that, you can't like so I'll just read the passage. Unfortunately, human beings cannot live in a vacuum forever. A bird must struggle in order to emerge from the eggshell. A well-meaning person might crack open the egg, releasing the baby bird. This person might walk away feeling as though he has done the bird a wonderful service, when in fact he has left the bird in a weakened condition and unable to deal with its environment. And then it goes on and goes on. And that's the thing passage that I highlighted because I know that to be true. Like, and as a parent, and with you having younger siblings, like, and pets, you have to let them kind of struggle, or you take
Yeah.
away their ability to learn. And that's how I was raised. So that was probably like my one defining or happy moment in the book where I was like, okay, I knew this, but
Yeah.
okay, you wrote this.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Well, I think we covered both our likes and our criticisms. I hope that I probably sounded so harsh right now when I was just like, no, there was nothing that I liked. All right, so the next one that I had, or the next question, was the ending a surprise to you?
No.
Yeah.
It was very much predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I knew he was gonna get it. Like, where was it? Well,
yeah.
Without obviously spoiler alert, right?
You gotta spoil it. There's not. I mean, it's only a 2-hour audio, so
It really is. It was quick.
short book, so you can't not spoil it.
I was like painfully. I sound so, but I was like painfully reading this. I kept telling my man, I'm like, this book, I can't.
Yeah. Thank God. Like my mom called me and was like, I'm not gonna make it this week, and she was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna read it, and I was like, well, I'll read it. I'll just download it on my iPad. And she was like, you could just buy it, get it on Scribd. It's on Scribd. I was like, cool. Say less. So then I looked at it. I was like, it's only 2 hours. Like I could slight work. So I actually just listened to it today. And
well,
yeah, I fell asleep, but I finished it. I promise.
Don't let me do this again. I mean, I'm sounding so.
Listen, it's hit and miss with
it really
like don't get me started because we could change this, we could talk about it because you see my struggles on Goodreads. So
I know. So, but here's the question though. So we were talking. You don't judge a book by its cover, right? Can you judge a book by its cover? Do you think? I was kind of like of the school of thought. No, you can't judge a book by its cover. But honestly, I mean, let me stop. I'm being so drag worthy right now. I'm not trying to be.
None of my business.
Listen, Red, which you probably aren't, because you've made a few books and you're doing great, and a movie was made, so you're not going to see this. And anyone who stands for you, understand that
everybody has an opinion. It's your opinion. It's fine.
So
it was not it. Let's just say it. It wasn't it.
No, and even I'm sorry, the cover lackluster. It does kind of look like it was made like printed in the 90s. But I was actually surprised because
when was it published?
It was published in 2000.
No.
I think this was the early 2000s.
If this is an early 2000s book, I'm gonna be upset. Hold on, I got it right here. 2001. Oh,
I done went all the way back to no wonder.
2000. So wait, can we go back to the beginning? What did you rate this book?
You're gonna make me say this out loud?
Yes.
A 2.
Me too.
You did? Oh,
yeah. You want to know why I rated it a 2?
Why?
Because the movie wasn't that bad.
Oh man! Honestly,
I'm on the same page because it would have really hurt me that if you liked it.
No, I went and looked on YouTube right after you said that, and I was like, this movie looks good, especially because it has the dude from The Shining, Abigail Breslin. It's got some pretty.
Shining. Which one is he?
He was the chef, the guy who worked in the kitchen. That the little kid. He was the little kid's best friend. One little boy, and he was like, oh. He was that.
Not in The Shining, but in this movie.
Oh, how do I say this without I can't be politically incorrect here. Like I mean,
Is it
he was
the huh?
the brown. He was the lawyer. The lawyer.
Here,
Red.
okay.
Yeah, Red Stevens' best friend. I mean,
It's the black guy. You could say it.
black. Okay, he's a black dude. Okay, he's a black dude.
He is.
He was.
Okay.
So.
I didn't know he was in The Shining.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like it. So the movie, like if we could talk a little bit about the movie.
Yes, I want to hear all your thoughts about it because I didn't want. I only watched the first. Like I scanned the first 10 minutes of it, and I was like, "This looks like it's going to be really good." But
Yeah.
tell me about it.
So far the differences that I like is that in the movie he loses everything. So in the book there's a part where it says where they say to give something that is only yours, like give something that's only yours for 30 days to other people. In the movie, he loses everything that he
Who Jason
inherited.
Stevens?
Yes.
At the end?
No, in the beginning.
On the beginning, okay.
In the beginning, they take away his house, his car, his bank accounts all froze, everything. He became homeless, basically. And so when he was homeless, he fell asleep on a park bench, and that's how he met the little girl. You know, the little girl that he meets.
Yeah.
So he met the little girl in the park.
The book, that was the one that he'd met at the park in the book, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that little girl, we only see her that one time in that one chapter, right? The movie,
she looks like a character in the movie.
She plays a big role, and so does the girl's mother. So obviously, it's kind of like they added a romance into it. So, and there's the little girl is sick, like you know in the book, it's not a spoiler. That the little girl
right, she's dying. Okay.
Yeah. And then
so is that his? So if we look at the book, because he has to have a motivation why he's so disgruntled. Because in the book, this Jason, he's disgruntled, he's unhappy. He just like comes in with this energy, and so that is the reason why it sounds like
he's a spoiled brat.
Mm.
He got everything handed to him, and I think that's why he's going through what he's going through now. But he learns to appreciate life through the little girl, and then the mom is going through struggles because she's a single mother trying to keep her daughter alive. So instead of him handing money out to all these different people like he did in the book, he helps her only with like the hospital bills and stuff, which is nice. Oh no, it was like back rent or something, whatever.
Yeah.
And then where the part that I'm up to now, which you don't get in the book, which I'm glad, like in the movie, they go more into Jason's life and they get a lot of stuff from his perspective, which is what I would want from a book.
You wanted from the book.
Yeah. So
I kind of wonder with the difference between transition and movies, because I know Diana, your mom right now, she's reading the oh my gosh, the whole series. Harry Potter. So so those were all books, and then someone came, and I haven't been in the book to film industry at all, but I just when they make these movies, I love that they add so much, but I just wonder how much the author who wrote the book is like, that's not at all what I had in mind, but the producer of the movie is like, but this is what you need. This is what you need. And I wonder if this movie was made after his second and third books, and I wonder if his second and third books were different.
Maybe the second and third book goes more into like him.
Maybe I almost wonder, like if this book, because again, this is a 3-series book or set. If the Ultimate Life, which I think is the next one, like you said, gives that backstory that we're missing, but you wouldn't be motivated to get there.
I'm not motivated to read this book.
Honestly, I can't like. So I'm gonna watch the movie though.
I'll finish the movie. I'm gonna finish it.
I really want to see the movie. It looks really good.
Yeah, and maybe I'll go back and like not watch it on 2x speed.
It looks like a sweet little feel good movie, especially with the
Yeah.
holidays here. You know, I got my little Christmas tree. Let me just show it off. Ow.
Yes, I'm putting mine up this weekend. I have to take
Are
all
you?
the stuff down.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm extra decor. I'm like, as soon as November 1st hits, I'm like, let's do it.
I've just had no energy. I've been
mm.
sick and
Well,
everything.
when you're
So
not feeling good.
I know. So I told myself this weekend I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because next weekend is Thanksgiving and we don't have time.
Yes. Well, all right. So sorry,
Next
jumping.
question.
I love talking to. I just y'all listen. I love talking to. You don't catch up enough, and this is nice. You know what I was thinking about Christmas side? Still another side note. So I love decorating, and I'm like, you know why? Because it like it brings good vibes and it's
Mm-hmm.
uplifting with the colorfuls. So I was like, I'm gonna start redecorating my home to be like Tex-Mex, you know, Texicali, Tex-Mex, you know, the fun
Okay.
festive lights and stuff. And I was like, but I'm gonna need a Christmas tree replacement, so I'm gonna get a cactus and decorate it with lights. Go all Cali style, Texas
Like
style.
after the holidays? Like
Yeah,
that's gonna be okay. That's gonna be the
yeah.
theme of
I know.
the
I had to share because I'm just really
I'm not
excited.
mad at it. Mad at it. I try to do like I try to decorate for the season. So like fall and so like I have
I know
fall
I
stuff.
saw your little background had to give thanks. Let's see little. I saw it in the back. You have a little.
My little thing.
Yes, that's Monique's. A tribute to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All vibed out. Are you cooking this Thanksgiving?
Yes. I'm actually going grocery shopping after this with my sister-in-law. So
This late?
yeah, girl. I didn't want to do it in the morning. I didn't want to do it right after work because it was a madhouse. So we're trying to go like after hours when nobody's there. And thank God
Oh,
our
the turkey.
we have the turkey already. Yes.
You do? Oh
Yes.
my gosh, this is gonna be my first Thanksgiving cooking a meal.
Ooh.
Uh,
I made the first turkey the first year that we were in the house, and I made it by myself, and I was so proud of myself.
well, let's talk about the ultimate gift in that I'm ultimately happy that you remain to be a part of this book club. Thank you for showing up.
All the time, except
And
for last week. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. Again, I was the little bird that was pushed into the,
There you go. You gotta
and I
listen.
did it.
You gotta
Okay.
take that leap.
So let's see. Did this book remind you of any other book you've ever read?
No, not that. I mean, nothing comes to mind like off the top of my head, but I'm sure that there's stories out here like
Or a
that.
movie? I know I'm thinking about it too, and honestly,
Like I'm sure there is. There has to be. This is not like a story that's very original.
mm,
Like there's always stories about people who want to inherit wealth and they have a life changing event and they discover what the true meaning of life is and now they don't need all that money.
and that's what I was kind of going for, especially with like the holiday season
Mhm.
coming around. I was like, what book seems like a good theme for Thanksgiving? And it was like, oh, the ultimate gift to make you be
Yeah,
grateful,
let's thanks. That's why I have my bag
give
here.
thanks. And there was someone, because on the Bookstagram page, Paper and Pajamas, one thing I love about Bookstagram, and I'm so glad you inspired me to create an Instagram, because now
Mhm.
I don't feel silly for just going crazy posting all things books, like, because I'm in community with others.
There you
So
go.
I have some folks who follow me from other countries and stuff, and this one girl from Germany, she's like, I put my review and she's like, that's too bad because I liked the cover and I thought I was reading. I was like, don't let me deter you from reading it. Like, this is just
Yeah,
my review,
it
because
just wasn't. It wasn't for me.
it
That's what
was
we got to say. It wasn't for me.
it
It's not
wasn't.
for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
it's not
was
that
there?
it's a bad book. It's just
It was dry. It was just dry. Like, I
it was very
honestly,
straightforward. It was very flat. But I mean,
but it makes me realize too, as a reader, I need to do more like, I want to do more research as I choose books to read, because it
Mhm.
is an investment to read a book. It does. It and when I say investment, it's like mostly the time investment, right? Like and not to say like that a book, no book's going to be perfect. No, it is what it is, right? But I just, especially with a book club and stuff, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I need to be more solid about,
But
what.
again, you won't know unless you read it and then recommend it. You won't really know what it's about
True.
unless
So
you
we're,
spoil yourself.
we're all in it together, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah. You see, we could DNF. We could have DNF this book if it wasn't so short.
I mean, I did DNF like 2 chapters. I was like, I can't do this chapter. I was like, because I know what it's gonna say. He's gonna be like, did it next.
Right. Let's skip to the end.
All right. Yes. So, as far as the author style, what did you think of his writing style? Why is my
Um. Again, it was a lot of showing and not telling, and
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. You know, like it. I wanted me. Yeah, it was a lot of showing and no telling.
Yeah.
No telling and no showing.
It
That's what I
was
like.
it was it was tell no show.
Yeah.
I need show and tell.
So I didn't like the writing style.
No, me neither. I tried to use a gentle word, but for me it was written a little elementary, which was really surprising because he's a much, more mature author.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of surprised that, like, I think this would be a suitable read for um, fifth grade. So
It's a good start to somebody who's trying to get into inspirational fiction. Like it's
yeah,
a good
yeah,
start because a lot of times, like a lot of like the last few books that we've read, the last two inspirational books that we've read, a lot of the stuff it goes deeper. And so you
right,
have to actually like stop and say, huh, that's a
right.
subliminal for this, or huh, how do I, apply that to my life? And this one, it's very straightforward and very
You're right. You're right.
like,
And
this is
you're
what it's supposed to do. He's basically telling you how you're supposed to feel and what lesson you're supposed to learn along the way instead of you trying to figure it out for yourself as the reader and trying to
and thinking too deep. Like, what did that
yeah,
mean? Like, it was so
yeah, you
straightforward.
didn't really, it was very straightforward. You didn't have to do any thinking for yourself.
No, that's a good point because I my whole genre, like I have lived in the self-help book genre for like 10 a decade. And
Mhm.
so that might be my issue right there. That I have read some of the best authors and I've studied psychology so deeply that something like this to me is like,
Yeah,
so that might be.
I agree.
Well, we should transition since I have you into another read. So for anyone who's interested in reading The Ultimate Gift, might be for you, not for us. The movie looks good. Give the movie a try. But
Yeah,
now we should just go into bookish conversation because
let's go. I'm
let's talk
ready.
about books. What you reading? Well, I know you're reading a lot, but this is my current read right now.
My current read.
Is that from your book? What is it called again? Book of the month?
No, this I got because my mom read it. My mom read it earlier this year, and she was like, "It's probably one of her favorite Christina Lauren books." And so I was like, "Okay, say less." So I picked it up from Barnes and Nobles, and it's been on my shelf. I started the month reading How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days.
I was that you I saw who on Goodreads
I
with that.
ranted. Yes, I ranted. I ranted. Let me just tell you. This woman, she is a grown ass woman. I'm talking the amount of times they reference that she's mid 40s trying to go after Keanu Reeves. Really? Like
Yeah,
it's making me
sounds
mad. And it's
like
just like
you.
I know that there's gonna be a point where it hits and it talks about like her mental health and how she's trying to cope and deal with other things that she has going on. But the story is just it's so ridiculous, and I'm like 150 pages in, and I'm just like, I have too much to read on my TBR for the end of the year that I do not have time to sit here and force myself to read a book that's not grabbing me or that makes me mad. So I stopped it.
So wait, so are you for your by the end of the year, do you have like a goal? Are you trying to read so many books? What's your
No.
goal?
So for this month I'm trying to finish series that I
Okay,
started. So like if I started the first book in a series, I want to read the next book
I
in the
see.
series. And if I can, well, I don't have I'm not reading a series that I have multiple books left of it, but I do have multiple series that I'm reading. So I try to break it up with romance. So I read a big I read Crown of Gilded Bones.
I think I saw that on Goodreads. Did you log
Yeah,
that?
so so I read A Crown of Gilded Bones, so I was trying to break it up and read a romance to like so I'm not reading like
Right,
fantasy back to back.
right.
So I picked up that book because I'm like Keanu Reeves is my favorite actor of all
Love
time, and
Keanu.
I love him.
Yeah.
And it's just
Why Keanu Reeves though? Is it just because of the hype that like what does the book talk about as to like or do you know?
she's obsessed with Keanu Reeves.
Okay,
And
the author or the so is the author using herself as the story? Like is okay
no, the main character is a 40 something year old artist
because we know that
who,
because it's mentioned how many times in the book.
and mind you, I'm only 150 pages in. So 150 pages in, I'm like almost no, I'm like 40% into the book.
Yeah,
And the amount of times that is mentioned that she's 40 something, it's like
we get it.
which is why I think the book is more about mental health and like
Okay.
how she's dealing with trauma because I believe she lost somebody and she hasn't been able to like really deal with it.
Hmm.
But and she has these two friends, and one of them is a man, and the man is obviously in love with her, and he's a professor, so he's smart and has his head on his shoulders, but he's entertaining her. Like, let's go on this trip to find Keanu Reeves. Like, he's like
Okay, so
entertaining this shit. And I'm just like,
so this dude could potentially be a love interest, but she's so focused on this Keanu Reeves. You know what
that's,
that
that's the
reminds me
point.
of?
That's the
Movie.
point.
Okay. Yeah, well, you know what that reminds me of? So there's this movie I used to be obsessed with when I was like 11 or 12 called Only You. Have you heard of that movie, Only You? Okay, so this woman, she goes to see a fortune teller. Well, she was a young girl at the time. She was probably like 12 again. And she goes to a fortune teller, and the fortune teller's like, yeah, this guy, I'm just going to make up a name. This guy, Joe, not to use your husband's name, or
It's very common. It's fine. It's fine.
it's just so you know this guy Joe. He's your mate. He's your lover forever. So she goes off to Italy, and then she runs into this dude who's like whining and dieting her. She's like, "But no, I'm here to find Joe." That's what that sounds like to me because this dude like falls head over heels for her. He's doing everything for her, but she's so focused on finding this dude Joe. She finally finds him, and or and then he. So really, the point is he's like, "You need to go follow your heart," and then he leads her back to this guy.
Right.
That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously at the end they end up together.
And that was like Only You. So was this written based on Only You? You gotta watch that movie now.
I don't know, but I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
I'm upset. Like, why they do Keanu like that? Like,
No, we love
I would
Keanu.
I would be it would be okay if she wasn't a grown ass woman. Like if she was like 18, like 18 or like early to mid 20s, like still like has, you know,
Yeah.
has a lot of
That
growing
I
to do,
right. But that
then
right.
sure. Like then it would be funny, but like you're 40, you're mid
But you know,
40s.
Monique, listen, that is the plight. I hate listen, culture conversation now. That is the plight of modern like older women these not older because I'm an older woman myself. That's the plight of women these days is we don't even realize sometimes and recognize what's good for us and better for us because we're chasing these fantasies and ideas and
I mean, yes, and it's just I didn't want to read about it. I didn't want to read about
yeah.
it. So now I got this Christina Lauren, and I started it yesterday, and I'm
Let me
on
see because
chapter
I love the way these books you get look.
what?
By the way, the
And
ultimate
it's a floppy
gift.
copy, and I did not break the spine. Thank you.
Well, this one I broke the spine, and I actually took off the dust jacket
Well, you
because
have see, it's a hardcover, so I take the dust jackets off of hardcovers when I read because only
this one,
psychopaths do that.
you know where this one's going. And I feel so. Why am I putting this out there like this? I'm
You're
just
putting
like,
it in your little library.
yes, I'm gonna leave
I
it in the
do.
little free library.
I put the midnight library in my.
No, you
little
didn't.
library.
Wait, that was a good one. Not to you. I was so dead.
Listen, and I wrote a little note in it like, I hope this book like does something for you. Like, put a little note in there.
I feel like we should do a video on books that we're gonna put in the little free library.
Listen, I put a lot. Honestly, I put a lot of books in there though, but that was one that I
got this one from the little free library.
See,
I'm glad.
yeah.
No.
You know what? I think I got one of those. I think I got the same book from my little library. I might have. And I got something. Or maybe no. It was Little Fires Everywhere.
I love that series, by the way. I binge watched that one.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. My mom was like, watch it. And I was like,
you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Oh,
I was like, I'd rather read the books first. So
are you trying to hit like a number goal? So do you have like a number of books you're trying to read by the end of the year?
Oh, I met my Goodreads goal already.
Please tell me how many.
You really want to know?
I do. I do.
I'm gonna be embarrassed. Okay. So my goal was 100.
150.
My goal was 100. And
wow, that's still a lot. Like Monique, I'm like one a month.
But that's okay. That's okay. Listen, you got a full-time job and a whole child to deal with. I have just a full-time job.
And a whole puppy filter of dogs to.
They're all right.
They're all right.
They're all right. So I'm on right now. I have completed 128, and I am on I have 2 active books that I'm reading, and then
if I get good at editing, this is where I insert the crowd cheering.
It's so crazy. You know what it is? Because I think we talk about this like almost every time we're on here, but like I listen to audio.
Because you have multiple ways of like.
I listen to audio, so in the book, in the book, Jesus, in the car to and from work, when normal people listen to music or podcasts, I listen to books, and that's how I get the bulk of my book reading done.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to I'm slimming down what I consume on all levels, not just like books, but like podcasts and stuff. My problem is I hoard information. So I will listen to so many, I know the information, like I just listened to it. So I think the more I slim down these things and the more time I find, like free time, because now that baby boy is getting older, he's able to do his thing. I can like sit comfortably on the floor and just like read my book. And so I'm really excited about this one. So far, to me, it's got a strong start. Like
it has very good reviews.
Yeah,
that is one of them. I think that is on my like want to read.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see what we do for next month. So for anyone who's still watching, so our algorithm for Paper and Pajamas has changed, courtesy of Monique, and I needed the advice. So before I was like stuck on this inspirational fiction boat, and it just doesn't work for everybody. Like to me, as I put in my email and my newsletters, come to the site, subscribe to our newsletters to get the information. It's a rose by another name. Like I'm still doing self-help when I'm reading these types of books. Like it's still you only need to do, like, you do so much self-help to a point where it's like, why keep fixing yourself, girl? Like, and that's the point that I've gotten to where I'm like, okay, I know what it is. It's practice now. It's all putting it, you keep going, you're going to always find something. So I am interested in trying new genres. I have already been exposed to them, courtesy of the members of the book club, and I'm so grateful because I'm having a blast now going to the bookstore. It's like, I used to go to one section in Barnes and Nobles. One section. I would go right to that little self-help little aisle Now I walk into Barnes and Nobles, it's like a candy store. They
Mhm.
got books here, there, everywhere. It's like
Yeah,
there's so
yeah.
many books.
It's like walking. Literally, it's like walking into a toy store. Like, mom, like
Yeah.
you walk in and you hear the angel singing. Like,
Yo!
oh,
So now I'm like, okay, so so basically every month I'm gonna do a spin the wheel thing, and it's gonna and then choose a genre, and then we'll choose a book based on whatever folks recommend. And if no one recommends anything, candy store, I'll just have one of the Barnes and Nobles people recommend
there
something
you
in
go.
genre because they know.
There
So,
you
but
go.
I know for a fact that like we've got some fun
So,
members.
so what are we reading next month?
Don't know yet. We have to spin the wheel.
Oh, when are we spinning the wheel?
That's a good question. Should we spin it now?
Yes. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's
Don't
spin
get
this.
me excited.
Ooh, let me get my laptop up because this is the fun part. I'm gonna go to the site. So let me see if I could what am I kicked off the internet all of a sudden? All right. Oh, yep, there we go. All right. So if anyone could see this. All right, you guys are gonna all right. All right, you guys are gonna spin the wheel with me now, right? So I'm gonna get to the wheel. How fun. House sway. All right.
He'll
Can you see the
first go over. It's kind of dark, but go
okay.
over the
The
genre.
genre. Okay, so this is the wheel. All right, so we've got historical fiction, novel, fantasy, thriller slash mystery, romance, sci-fi, New York Times, top 10. Those are our genres.
Okay.
So this is going to be where we find out. So I'm going to hit spin.
Oh,
And what a fun idea.
I'm scared.
Me too. I'm nervous. Watch it be something like something I've never read. I've never read a sci-fi.
Me either. I was just thinking, like, oh my gosh, if we're gonna get a sci-fi, I know which book I'm gonna read. Okay.
Thriller mystery. Oh, okay.
In
All right.
December. Okay.
So
We
for
should
anyone
read like
watching,
we should read like a Christmas, like a
yes,
Christmas
that's what I was
themed.
thinking. Same minds, same minds. So for anyone watching this, if you watch this and you know we're on Instagram, whatever, go give us recommendations everywhere, and then so thriller mystery recommendations for the month
We should
of
do a poll. We should do a poll on the
Instagram.
Instagram, and I'll tag my Instagram, my Bookstagram on it too, so that way we could get multiple recommendations,
That sounds like a plan.
and then we could post it on the Paper and Pajamas Instagram what the results are.
Woo! I'm so
That's
excited.
exciting.
Ooh, I can't wait to see
We got
this.
to figure out a mystery thriller.
The only one I could think of is a movie. So there's a few, like Krampus. You know, I'd say Krampus.
That's horror, girl.
Is it okay? See,
See, you can't
but
think of scary movies. You got to think of like
what about the horror movie where there's like a sorority house and was that Black Christmas? Was that horror too?
that's horror.
Okay,
Let's
so
be at that.
see guys,
We're
see
talking
how
about like what is that one? Uh
mm,
Gone Girl. That's a mystery thriller. Um Behind Her Eyes is a mystery thriller.
what
That I
about what's the one that was for Reese's? I think where the crawdads sing. Is that a mystery thriller?
I
Where
think
the
so, but
crawdads-
I don't think it's like winter time. It's like
No, yeah, let's definitely go with like a okay.
let's look
I'm,
up.
I know. Well, let me
So
see.
right now I'm reading Local Women Missing, and it has like a fallish uh winter, but it's based in like different
Oh.
linear timelines. That's what I want to say.
So there's one I see called The Girl in the Cabin 13, The Hunting Party. Oh, you know what? So here's the thing. It's called, so Googling it, Merry Mischief.
Mary
Merry.
missed it. Okay.
Mischief. Miss, how do you say mischief? Mischief.
Merry Mischief.
That, yeah, I found a website. It's called murdermayhem.com. Mary Mischief, the 13 best Christmas mystery books.
Okay. See?
Ooh. Okay, so we've got options. We've got options. So, you know what I'll do? So once I get all the recommendations, I'll put them in the wheel again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a whole other wheel and spin the wheel.
All right.
And that one I'll do on Instagram because since the holiday and Thanksgiving and stuff. So I'll do that
You can go
spin.
live on Instagram. We can both go live.
Yes. I'll go live Thanksgiving weekend because what are people going to be doing? They're going to be recovering from
Yeah.
eating so much food and they're going to know what they're going to read next.
Not Black Friday because nobody's going to be on Black Friday because they're going to be too
True.
busy shopping.
We'll
So
do
maybe
it Saturday when they're looking at
Saturday.
our Instagram from their new iPhones and they're
There you go. There you go.
oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
That's fun.
Okay, well,
Boy.
thank you for reading this book and for joining today. We have a Discord, folks. If you're watching, come engage in the Discord. Like, I be dry AF. Like, I be trying to.
Me too. It's fine.
I mean, it's gonna be one of those things. Like, people engage when they want to. That's the fun thing about this. Like, y'all saw last week, I got on here by myself. Like, if you don't come on, I'll get on here by myself. You can always like come another time.
Speaking of Home Before Dark.
Oh yes, let's talk.
I loved it.
You did?
I loved it. I think I gave it 4 stars. Did I give it 4 stars?
Tell me all why.
I loved it. I loved the ending.
Me too. Okay, so the ending again. It was the ending to me was like, what book did we read recently that I was just like, once we got to the ending, I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta keep going. Was it The House in the Cerulean Sea? Or
probably because that one, yeah. Yeah, my review on Goodreads says that it's a solid 4 stars. Loved the ending. The middle of the book was super slow. I almost DNF'd it, but decided to switch to audiobook, which helped me get through. The ending definitely saved it for me. I loved the ending.
Yes.
The twist,
yeah,
wasn't expecting. And did we talk about spoilers? Did we spoil the ending?
I think I kind of probably spoiled it in the last one. I was very subliminal about how it ended. But spoiler alert, everyone, Home Before Dark.
Alert.
Okay.
Home Before Dark, spoiler alert. I love the fact that Mrs. Pennyface and Mr. Shadow were actually real people. Yes. I love that. And that to me was the creepiest thing about it all is that there was a hidden passage to get into this little girl's room. And people were actually using that passage to freaking haunt this little girl. That's scary as hell. That's scarier than any type of ghost story or anything. Because it was real.
Yeah.
Like there was an explanation for it. Like it wasn't like it didn't turn out to be paranormal.
Right.
Everything had an explanation, and I like that.
That made it so hard for me. Like I did love that fact about it, but I was just like, a part of me was craving the paranormal.
You wanted it to be paranormal.
Just a little bit. But then that's the thing that, like you said, it just made it like, ooh, this is good. This is real good.
Because then it went from being like a paranormal, like, oh, this is not real, because right. Real, aren't they? To it being like, this shit could really happen.
Yeah. And she did Dane. Was his name Dane? She did Dane. I thought Dane was it. I was like, oh my gosh. And he was so patient.
Did him dirty though at the end though.
Right? She was
and he was like, even know what happened to him. Like, did she apologize? I tried to
check on him, and he was like, no, I'm moved away and left and was in a whole other town. He's like, I'm getting out of there, this crazy girl. Right. He lived there his whole life, and it just took her.
Right. She just came back like, nope, I know it was you.
You know how, and you actually know how Home Before Dark was chosen. So I was looking for a bunch of books, and I did a poll on Instagram, and someone I actually went to high school with way back at Cajon. Oh my God, you might actually know the person recommended it.
Who?
Oh my gosh, what's his name?
The man?
It's a man. He recommended the book, and because I did a poll and no one was you responded to it too. I think only 2 people, you and him, both responded for Home Before Dark. And yeah, I don't know.
Hey,
but either way, I'm like, it was good.
It was good. I was not disappointed. I liked it better than the Book of Accidents, which opposite my mother, bless
Hmm.
her heart, she
She
liked.
didn't like Home Before Dark. Did she finish?
No, she finished it, but she
Really?
liked Book of Accidents better, and I was just like, nah, nah.
Yeah, because I remember that you said that she was struggling with getting through it.
Hmm. And I told her, I was like, if you listen to the audio, like just download the audio and just get through it. But it was good. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed my time there. That was like so sorry.
That
Mom,
dog fight.
in October, like I wanted to just read scary books. And that one was finally like, yes, it gave me what I wanted. It gave me all the feels. And then I read after Home Before Dark, I read White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. And I
Hmm.
was just like, thank you. Like, and we got on a roll. And it was nice. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we're getting down our TBRs and being exposed to new things,
Yes.
which is always good.
Yes.
I'm excited to see what we pick for next month.
Yes.
I'm trying to get through All the Light We Cannot See though before we get there.
Get through it.
I can. I downloaded. So I have Scribd. I got rid of Scribd because it was like $9.99 a month. But
it's worth it though. It's unlimited books.
that's true. That is true, and I'm always reading. It's I can't sit and watch a movie or do anything like that. Like reading is what I go to. So
me too.
Mm.
I think what is the last thing that I watched? Oh God.
I watched You. That was the last thing I watched in full.
I want to watch You because I want to see what all the hype is about.
I'm just kidding. Did you
see that TikTok? Oh my gosh, that lady was such an idiot. She was like, I watched You, and she was like, you watched me?
You watched me?
God. Like definition of a blonde.
But did you see how he tried to clean? He didn't even try to clean it up. He was like, "Yeah, I watched You."
Yeah, and she had the nerve to call him stupid. Like, it's like okay. Oh. And this is why you can't trust Fox.
Right? Oh my god. Let me get. Anyway. Why don't we wrap this up?
Yes, let's wrap it up.
We just reviewed The Ultimate Gift. We also had a secondary review of Home Before Dark. We chose
Ultimate Gift.
Ah, yes, the ultimate. Let me look at audio and digital. Audio, digital, physical, I mean. Boom. And
2 stars.
2 stars.
Oh, you can't see it. Damn it. There it goes. Boom. Okay.
And I feel like, you know how those girls on TikTok today, they be like, what was our thing when we were young, when we used to post? Did we have a thing? I don't know.
We were normal. We just,
So
we're millennials. I had to tell
we're older millennials.
I had to tell my friend that today at work. She was like, I'm old. And I was like, you're not older. You're older than me, but not by much. And she was like, I am. And I was like, no, you're still a millennial just like me. And she was like, I refuse.
So we're gonna do a mystery thriller for December.
Yep.
Come over to Discord. Well, first, come over to paperandpajamascafe.com or Paper and Pajamas Instagram. I will link it somehow in this video, getting my editing skills up to par. Okay. And join us next time. And happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate.
Happy Thanksgiving, or just happy eatings on Thursday.
Yes.
On Thursday.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Monique.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.